moment feels like you lost a loved one who sadly passed away, you lost your job. Like there's these very zero moments. Walk us through how you break down the 0 to 100.
Yeah, and I try to do it really simply. I have found, and I'll talk about my own kids at times. When I ask them that question, how their battery is, I notice that they check, like most people, they check their phones quite often. And at some point, it just becomes like a reflex, and they don't even know they're checking it. But when they do look at it and the power's down, or it goes yellow, or it goes red, they get a little panicked. Like, oh my God, I got to charge it. Imagine my surprise when we're in like airports and they're like going up to people, can I use a little of your charge, right? Yeah. And I think we've all been there where we don't have a charger, and usually like, I need something. Can somebody help me out? Most times people are really kind and they'll just, kind of help you, especially if you're a kid. I thought about then putting it into zones, and I put it into 4 zones. And I just said, if you're at 75 to 100, you're probably fine. And meaning that, you're in a zone where you're just moving along. If you're at 50 to 75, you're probably in a place where you might need to start to think about how you may want to recharge. If you're in that 25 to 50, it's time to start figuring out, take a break. You may need to take a walk. You may need to put down the phone. You may need to stop the litany of Zoom calls that you're on right now, right? And if you find yourself 0 to 25, that's a real kind of indicator for you to say, hey, something's probably not right. And I need to really kind of take a hard stop and figure out how I recharge. And recharge can happen in a number of different ways. And so I've often talked about when I've gotten into that zone, I just kind of almost go for a walk. I sometimes go outside. I take some deep breaths. I do a number of things. Sometimes I may need a workout. A workout really helps me to recharge on a personal front. And everyone's a little bit different, and they'll go to different techniques. And so in the book, I list a lot of things in the book that you may do. You may do 1, 2, 3, 4, or all of them. And they're just really techniques for you to figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I really like that breakdown, because I think we're all better when we're measuring things with numbers.
That's right.
There's a specificity there.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people. I think the way your phone is charged says so much about you as a person. So my phone is always charged.
Yeah.
I'm very rarely below 30% or 40% on my phone. And I think I try and monitor my personal